Up, I've got Kane here. He took third place at the Montana State Championship. And tell us what you're playing and what are your matchups.
I was playing Going Second Dinos, and game 1 I played Drytron. Game 2 I played Mech Knight Invoked. Game 3 I played Shadal Invoked. Game 4 I played Mech Knight Invoked again. Then game 5 I played Despia Invoked, and then the final one, the 6th round, I played PK Fire.
Nice. Well, yeah, let's just get right into it.
All right. Well, of course, the not the MVP, but he's one of them. 3 Overraptor.
Nice.
It's pretty
classic.
standard. Don't know what this guy does. He's the Stratos of the deck, and he's also a Foolish Burial, and he's also a Monster Reborn at the same time. This card's just straight busted.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a Foolish Burial, a Stratos, and a Monster Reborn, and you can use both the effects in the same turn. He's super good, and the fact he's a level 4 is also really good.
Nice, nice.
3 of the regular baby. I was running Petite Pteranodon with a Lithos Agent, but I decided to cut those for more blowout cards. The baby's just good. You use Overraptor, pop it, bring out more material. It's super good. 2 Animadorn. I've heard from a lot of people they think they should play it at 3. I found way more consistency at 2. It's never came up only running it at 2, and I think it's perfect.
Nice.
Of course, the spiciest boy, the MVP of the deck, Conductor, Tyranno.
Hell yeah.
This guy wins games. He beats over a Dragoon. He gets over a Zeus. He gets over an Ultimateness. This guy is just MVP. If he hits the board, everyone's like, shit, there's a Conductor here. What am I going to do about it?
Basically auto win.
Yeah, auto win. I mean, he's just so good in the meta, and he's just
Yeah.
been a great boss monster forever, and I love him. UCT for life.
Yep.
Going to other monsters that aren't dinos, I ran 2 hand traps instead of 3. I was tired of seeing so many. So I ran 2 Droll, 2 Lancia, and 2 Nibiru. So when I cut the Lithosagem and the baby and a Coatlas, and I added in more hand traps and cut the Ashes out of the equation. Just Ash, I feel like Ash doesn't do much. I would just much rather see Droll against a Drytron player than an Ash. I'd much rather see Droll, like, it hurt Dragon Link a little bit when I played it practicing. Lancia, I mean, wrecks a lot of decks. Nibiru was super good. These are also cross-out targets, and we'll get to that a little later. But like I said, Droll won me a lot of games. Lancia won me a lot of games. Nibiru won me a lot of games.
Nice.
Then on to the one-ofs. We play the 1 Scrap Raptor. I have a nice little combo with him, with Conductor that I do. This card's really underrated and no one plays it. It's the Stegosaur. He's another level 4 Earth dinosaur, and when he's special summoned, you get to search a Pankratops.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, you get him for free with Overraptor. You just, when you summon another baby, use Overraptor to kill that baby to summon out the Stegosaur, or you can summon Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor will pop the baby that you just summoned, and then that baby will summon out the Stegosaur. Then you'll have a follow-up for the Pankratops.
These are also Earths as well if you want to play a Lithosagem.
Yes, Lithosagem is good. Like I said, I decided to cut him because I wanted more blowout cards.
Yeah.
Of course, it's one of the other spiciest one-ofs, Pankratops, Collector Rare.
Nice.
Then, of course, Giant Rex, pretty standard in the deck. Then, of course, the other one besides UCT that's the best is the 1 Misk we have to play now.
Obviously. Have you read it?
Yeah, have you read Misk? Yeah, he's busted. So those are all the one-ofs I run. On to the spells. Then we have 3 Fossil Dig. I mean, pretty standard. I wish this was a level 7. If it said level 7 or lower, that would be busted.
Yeah.
This card would be. I think it would actually get hit if it's at a level 7 or lower.
Pank.
Oh yeah, I could just get Pank for free.
Busted.
3 Prosperity. This card saved me a lot of games, especially when my hands were kind of bad. And it's kind of nice because if you activate a Fossil Dig, most of the time people are like scared about the Misk, and so they'll Ash that. I mean, a lot of good players will let the Fossil Dig resolve and you add the Misk, and then they'll just Ash Misk on the Banish. But Prosperity can be good for bait. A lot of people are unsure about it, but I think it's very good to dig for what you need in the deck.
Yep.
Especially when you're running the blowout cards I was running. Then I made 3 Ulti Droplets. I mean, this card just won me all sorts of games. Ultimateness, like Negate, Dragoon, Negate, of course. I mean, it was so good. I was so glad because Prosperity into the Droplet, and if they already used their Negate, it was really good.
Nice.
Then, of course, 3 Lightning Storms. The Lightning Storms came in clutch all day. I think I could have won the whole event if I would have kept them mained, but I sided in something else against the last match I did in Top Cut that I lost. That was pretty rough, but
You can't negate Starlights.
you can't negate Starlights, that's true. Another MVP of the deck, super good. This usually negates a Dragoon negate, and I love the fact that it does. It's the Lost World.
Yeah.
Like most time when Lost World hits the field, like I said, if you have a Solemn Judgment, I've had people Solemn Judgment it, Dragoon it right away, and then that usually frees you up to do whatever you need with the Fossil Dig. Even if I have a Fossil Dig in my hand, I always activate the Lost World first, because like I said, it's a really good negate.
This is like low-key the best
It is.
card in the deck.
Lost World chain blocks for you. If your hands are bad, it unbricks your hands. If they Lancia you, this gets you into at least a Dolka, which is super good. Lost World, like, I don't know what I would do without it. Like, honestly, I would have won one of my games, but he chained Cosmic Cyclone, got rid of the Lost World, and it destroyed me, and I lost that round. 2 double evolution pills. 3, I feel like is super, super bricky. 2 is the perfect number. 2 of this with the 2 Animadorned. Works out perfect. It's never been a problem. It's never came up before. A lot of people think you should do 3 and 3 or 2 and 3, and I just think 2 and 2 is perfect.
Nice.
And then a couple of the one-ofs here. Harpy's Feather Duster, Terraforming, and then this card. I know everyone hates this card. I don't think it should be banned. I love this card.
Yeah.
It wins games. It's super good. A lot of people aren't main decking a lot of back row outs here. And like I said, I was playing that Drytron player game 1, and I was falling up behind pretty good, and then I activated Terraform, and he was expecting me to add a Lost World, and I activated the Mystic Mine, and this won me the game. He was not expecting it.
Hell yeah.
On to the extra deck. For the links, I play the 1 Almirage. This kind of comes up sometimes, because you can, if you open bad and you have a double evolution pill in hand, you can normal summon the baby, go into an Almirage, and then go into a Secure Gardena, and then you can activate the double evolution pill.
Gotcha.
And so that's like the worst case scenario, but there have been times where I've needed to use him. And he's good. I like him. Nightmare Package, Unicorn, Phoenix, both collectors rare, of course.
Naturally.
I mean, you guys know what these cards do. I mean, that's enough being said there. The 1 Secure Gardena, I kind of just explained the combo. You can do the same combo with the 1 Link Karibo. You can Link Karibo off the Animadorn into a Secure Gardena if they make you go first. Because like I said, my dinos were going second deck.
Nice, nice.
Pentastag, I mean...
Oh my gosh.
This guy is so good. There's so many MVPs in this deck. This with UCT is busted. And what you do, and then the other MVP, we start getting to the exceeds here, do Garrus. Yep. You use the Garrus, make Conductor 7,000, put Conductor underneath him, and if you had Lost World with your hand as well, it's 7,000 straight to the face, and you're gonna win.
Yeah.
A lot of my games didn't make it past turn 1 with this combo.
Yep.
I 2-0'd a couple of people. The Despia matchup was actually the easiest matchup I had. It was like slicing cheese, bro. It was super easy. He had Winda. Winda wasn't a problem. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna turbo out this window. I had a double evolution pill to flip everything. It didn't matter. He made it 0. It's like, okay, whatever. Send.
Yeah.
And since you send them face down, they don't float. It was the best matchup of the day, and
awesome.
these guys won me the game pretty easily.
Yeah, I love those.
Of course, you're gonna go. This is the only 2 of I run, I believe. Yeah, it's the 2 Dolka. 2 Dolka's kind of nice for the prosperity to get rid of 1. Most of the time, you don't need to go into a second one. I mean, that's came up I think once that I can remember. But 2 Dolka's kind of nice. I just think it's necessary to run 2.
Yep.
You got the 1 Logia. You know, I can't remember the last time I went into a Logia. It's just the fact you only get to negate 1 spell, and most of the time the spell you want to negate is a droplet, and you can't even negate it.
Yeah.
That's usually problematic. And then most of the time, if you have a misc and you didn't use it, it can protect you. I don't want to say I'd cut him, but I can't remember the last time I went into him. So I think I might use a different spot, but I feel like as soon as I cut him, I'm going to need him.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah. 1 Exciton Knight came up a couple of times. Back row heavy deck, didn't have a negate.
Underrated.
Yep, underrated. Tornado Dragon, he came up a couple of times when I had to get rid of like a Gozen match or something like that. He was pretty good. Of course, Abyss Dweller. Nice. I mean, there's enough said. I mean, this guy's made a reputation for himself. Yeah. I mean, he wrecks so many decks.
Fantastic.
Then these 2 cards have won me so many games. I gotta show them at the same time because they pretty much do the same thing. Is Cowboy and Gustav Max.
My man.
Cowboy for game, legendary. As soon as he came out, people were popping off with him. And if you can make 2 I've made 2 conductors, and they've had 62, 65, 68, and I was able to hard make a conductor and then double evolution pill, and then they're still alive in the end phase. And I made a Gustav and win. I cut what I cut out for the Gustav Max. I can't remember what I had in my extra deck.
It's like
But
an
I'm so-
access code or something, or
No, it wasn't an access code. I can't honestly remember. I think it was another rank 4. It was a Castell. I cut a Castell. The reason why Castell was in here in the first place was because when Megaclops was a problem with Zodiac, literally nothing in my deck could out it. Like, I would have to draw a Lightning Storm, and not even a Conductor could get around it because it was only affected by Exceeds. So I had a Castell, so it's like, what would win, one Big Machine or one Birdie Boy?
right?
So I cut him and put him in, and Gustav won me a lot of games.
That's awesome. Nice. Do you want to do? Do you have your side deck or?
Oh, yep, the side deck. I
Okay.
completely forgot about that. It's right here. There we go. I got it.
Nice.
So for the side deck, 3 cross out. This didn't come up as much as I thought it was going to. That's why I ran the 2 Drolls, the 2 Nibs, 2 Lancia. Everyone was like, why wouldn't you run the Ash over the Nibirus? I'm like, well, since I only have 1 Misk, like, I'm not as protected as I should be going first. It only came up once with a Droll. And yeah, like, I think it's better definitely side than main, but if you're a deck that like really needs the combo off, like Madolche, which is what I lost to, got Emancipator, B Troopers, like I think you should maybe main it.
Yeah, good idea.
And then I sided in the 3rd copies of each of them. When I went up against Drytron, I put in obviously the 3rd Nib and the 2nd Drone Lockbird, and then when I went up against Invoked, I added in these 2 and this. It came up quite a bit where I was happy to see it more often, so I just wanted to up the percentage of me seeing it.
That's cool.
3 evenly. You know, I am not completely sold on this card, and especially with the way I'm running my deck. My deck has the Lightning Storms and the Harpy's Feather Duster for back row removal, and with the Prosperities, I usually see what I need to see, so I think I might cut this card for something else. The only thing I like it for is the Eldritch matchup. But if I see a Harpy's Feather Duster or a Lightning Storm in the Eldritch matchup and I clear it back row, I'm about to OTK you. So we usually won't, like, evenly never came up. I'm thinking about cutting this card, but I don't know what I would necessarily cut it for. And I mean, evenly is such a good card.
Yeah.
I'm just unsure about it. Because I never put it in once. Same with this card, Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More never usually came up with me either. I mean, I main deck the Droplets. Conductor solves a lot of problems. I mean, it never came up, but I mean, I never ran into a board that I couldn't handle with my main deck, so this is another card I thought about cutting out as well. I don't know what else I would cut out for it, because this and the 3 Evenlies, they never... I didn't side them in once. I sided in the crossouts, then the Biru, the Drolls, and everything else. These cards just stayed in my side deck, and I don't know what other 6 I would put in for them, but...
What do you think about Phantasme?
Somebody mentioned Phantasme at the tournament, and I was considering that to get into more draw power, which I think would be a good idea to see my blowout cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's not a bad idea at all. I think he's coming back in the meta a little bit, so I might grab him. For another one, I'm not too sure. Maybe 3 Ash, but I don't see myself playing Ash, because I just don't think it's good enough this format. Maybe a Droll.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. But for my last one, my buddy Kevin, shout out to Kevin Garcia. I had a hard time getting my 13th, 14th, and 15th cards, and I had no idea what to put in. I was going to do Retaliating Sea, but I wasn't too sure about that. I was like, I don't think that's going to be good enough. He told me to do the 3 Judgments.
Oh, spicy.
Because a lot of people were going to figure out that I was going to be going second.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, if he's going second, I'm going to mess him up by going first. So I sided this in going first, and it was a game changer. This was the best decision I made all day.
That's awesome.
What's the 3 Judgments? Because I go first, they don't expect it. They're still expecting me like brick with the Lightning Storms. Like, Droplet's not really a big brick, but like brick with the Lightning Storms and brick with the Harpy's Feather Duster. And I can't do my OTK, so I'm not set up to really do it. Because I think in the format, everyone wants to go first.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to make a going second deck. And my buddy Tim, shout out to Tim Hattery, he gave me the idea. He runs his Invoked Mech Knight just with a bunch of blowout cards. He's like, just run a bunch of blowout cards. You're going to be fine. I mean, the cards are good for a reason. And so, Solemn Judgment, blowout card. It was super good. Going first, game 2, sided this in, stopped them, proceeded to OTK them. It was fantastic. Best decision I made all day.
Nice. And you got the ulties. Let's go.
Yep, ultis. I mean, if you notice, my deck's pretty expensive. I mean, I don't know. I have the money to do that.
Except for those Drolls. Those are filthy commons.
Oh, I should have flexed with I have the playset of ultis. I should have done that before the video, but it's whatever. When we went to Top Cut, I forgot to mention that through the first 6 rounds. The very last one I went up against Drytron again, and I did not think I was going to win that one, but I double drolled him for the win. And then game 4, I couldn't get it with Madolche. Madolche beat me in round 4, and I ended up playing the other guy for third. for third and fourth, so I took
The virtual
third.
world guy.
Yeah, virtual world guy. The virtual world matchup was a little tough, but I got that. Shout out to Archie. I think his last name's Hardison. Shout out to him for a winning state. I'm gonna come back for the spring and try to take it.
Hell yeah. Nice. Thanks for the deck profile.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.